Bom dia! We are Americans living in Portugal. We have chosen this as our next stage in life, and we are finding many new fun opportunities to meet people. Today, we are going to introduce you to a wonderful couple who have traveled the world and are currently settled in Porto raising their daughter. You may already know them, but if not, we hope you will enjoy today's discussion with Josh and Kalie from Expats Everywhere. Let's talk about it. We hope you will find our journey helpful as we work to navigate you around. It'll be fun. Vai ser divertido. I bet you can guess that today we are going to be visiting Porto, walking the streets, riding the train, enjoying the sunshine, hiding from the rain. We take advantage of the cafe culture and have a bite of what Europe has to offer. We slip into a backyard garden belonging to some friends of Josh and Kalie, slowing down to smell the roses while we're there. We love Portugal and all it has to offer, and don't seem to be alone in feeling this, as you will see. Leslie also had a lot of fun recording a podcast with Kalie, which we will link in the description of this video. We hope you will enjoy. And in case you are new to our channel, or you thought I might have forgot, I am Alan. I am here with my wife Leslie, our son Wolf, our dog Greer, and Rex the cat. We are from the United States and now live in Portugal on the beautiful Island of Madeira. This is the life-changing decision. We would like to thank all of our subscribers for being here and would appreciate it if you would please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll receive notifications of our new videos, if you have not done so already. We are viewer supported. If you enjoy our videos, we invite you to join our Patreon community. Bom dia! Today, we are with Josh and Kalie from Expats Everywhere, and we're glad that you can spend the time with us today.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Thanks
What's
for
up?
having us.
Thank you. Yeah, we're here in Porto, and we're here talking to them about various things, and one of the things that we're curious about is, how did you come to be living abroad? What made you do that? What were your pursuits?
I think we both have different stories when it comes to like why we wanted to live abroad. Mine absolutely started at a young age with my grandmother. She traveled quite a bit, so she would take trips abroad and she would come back with like little trinkets and stories, and it piqued my interest. Then when I got to college, I played collegiate soccer, had a bunch of teammates from different parts of the world, and that really got me kind of curious about language and culture. And I did a study abroad while in college, and I was sold. I realized, like, as a small town boy, I didn't get homesick the way everyone told me I would, and then I was just hooked at that point.
Yeah, mine's quite different. My family traveled a lot domestically and internationally. A lot of it was for my dad's work. He was in Major League Baseball, so he traveled a lot, and we kind of would tag along for vacations. But they also like to travel, my parents did, so I think they put that in me. So when I got older, I didn't want to do it by myself because I was so used to traveling with other people. And then Josh and I met, and he was talking about moving abroad. I was getting ready to graduate from college. I said, wait for me and I'll go with you and we'll just figure this thing out. And that was 14 years ago,
Yeah.
and we've just lived abroad since.
Fortunately, I waited.
Yeah, because he didn't want to actually wait,
Yeah.
but he did. He waited, and it worked out because we were just dating. We had just started dating actually when he was getting ready to go. So I was just like, if you wait, let me graduate, because it was like the middle of my senior year. Let me graduate, and then we'll go, because I wanted to do a study abroad when I was in college, but I couldn't find anyone to go with me. And I was like, I love it, but not to venture out on my own.
Didn't have the intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, right. So then I found someone. I'm like, no, don't leave me. Just wait. And he did, and that's
That's been
it.
good. Yeah.
Good. So you settled in Porto, Portugal. What do you love about Porto and Portugal in general the most?
Well, I think it's the same answer really for both, and it'd be the people, right?
Yeah, definitely. The people.
I think you know, you all have been here for about a day now, so you haven't had a ton of time to interact with the people. But the people here, for it being a city, it's so different. People here are so nice and helpful. And the more you learn Portuguese, the more you realize how foul-mouthed people are here. But it's not like in a negative way. It's just like, it's just part of kind of the culture here. But the beautiful thing is, like, if you have any issues and you need help with something, people are willing to slow down and help you. Whereas we haven't found that in Lisbon, let's say. So that's kind of been a cultural difference that we've noticed between the two cities. But Portugal in general has some of the nicest people in the world. Whenever we've traveled, there are Asian countries with some really nice, warm people. But for Europe, Portugal's one of the best, if not the best that we've encountered.
And then specifically Porto, it's really nice that it's a city, but it's not overwhelming. I guess Lisbon can be quite sprawling and big, and you end up just staying in your little neighborhood because it has everything you need. Whereas Porto is a city, but every day we're crossing into different neighborhoods that have different vibes, and it's nice to go into those neighborhoods, maybe not live there, but go there on a daily basis for a coffee at this place or the park over at this place. So it's very walkable and doable. But then you also have, it's got the river, and then it has the beach that's very close, and it's really well connected. So I like that Porto is a city. It's safe as a city. You can live that city life, but not like that overwhelming city life.
Yeah.
And it's great for our kids too, like for kids. Like we have a daughter, a young daughter, and the Portuguese culture, they are just so family friendly and they love kids. So you can go into a restaurant for dinner and not feel like you has to be quiet, or you can't even take them into that restaurant like, what's that kid doing here? They're welcome. You generally see, like, she'll be laughing and you'll see someone sitting over there who's making faces. All ages, from, you know, what could be her grandparents down to like even some, you know, younger men that are just, they're so used to having kids around in the family that they enjoy that aspect of it. So it's really nice as far as having kids here.
Do you worry about your daughter being so far away from her grandma and grandpa?
That's a good question. There's a lot to unpack there, to be honest. So when we first moved, she was 9 months. It was during COVID, so she didn't have a ton of exposure to grandparents.
They were sad. They were sad.
Despite the fact that we were with Kalie's parents whenever she was born, like we were staying with them as we were in a transitional period from one country to the next. I think what we've noticed is, since we've been abroad, technology has gotten so much better and made us more connected. When we first got started, there was Skype, but our parents didn't really know how to use it. So we kind of lost some connection with family in that way. We definitely lost connection with friends in that way, whereby we found out who really put in the effort to remain friends. Now, family's family, so like, there's always going to be a degree of effort put in there, and you know, sometimes you have to have hard conversations. I know that I did with my dad, and we just realized that we had to like have a set time to talk every week, whereas when I was living back in the States, we didn't have to do that, right? It happened more organically. But we established that. With Kalie's parents, it's a little different. They talk kind of more organically on a regular basis, but through things like FaceTime, that type of technologies has been wonderful. So we've been doing the whole FaceTime thing before Zoom became a thing over the past couple years. And I think that that's made a major impact on Valencia's connection to family. We also have a picture book where we have pictures of family members, and she can see that. And you know, we ask her on a weekly basis, who's this, who's that? So that helps as well.
Yeah,
you
so
can
she
touch on more
she definitely recognizes family members because of that picture book, and then we talk regularly. So even now, if we're like, oh, you know, do you want to talk to J-Pa and Gigi? Then she's, oh yeah, she knows who they are, and we were constantly, you know, showing her the book and saying, who's this? Like Josh said, and so she recognizes them. And I think something too is, even if we were in the States, our family's all spread out, so we wouldn't necessarily be close to them anyway, and we would have to be talking to them through FaceTime. So whether we're in a different country, a different state, or just even in a different city that's not, you don't see someone every day, we would be doing the exact same thing. So I think for her, it's just normal that this is how they talk, and then she gets really excited when we say one of them's coming to visit, and they just pick right up. Like, you know, she's used to seeing them on the phone, but it's, you know, she's past that stage where I think it's like, oh, weird, you used to be on the phone, now you're here. She's fine with it. Oh, you're here. So as long as, you know, grandparents are willing to travel and either meet us somewhere or come visit us, and then I think because we have a child now, make a little more effort to go back to the States probably more often than we would if it was just the two of us, so that those who don't travel or can't travel, that they can see her. But it's been fine. Our family's been great about it. She's been great about it. And I think as long as you kind of make it's a normal thing, then it's normal.
Mm-hmm. Your channel is becoming quite a business for you, and you expanded and you recently started doing podcasts. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we had a really awesome guy actually from the Chicago area reach out to us, and he is a podcast producer. His name's Dan, and he just said, hey, I want to produce a podcast for you all. Like, I don't want to charge anything. I want to get experience. I want to possibly move to Portugal, so I'm going to get a little bit of info from you guys, behind the scenes stuff. And we just saw a lot of upside to it. We felt like, the more we get into YouTube, because you were just talking about kind of the business of it, the more we get into YouTube and understand YouTube, what we realize is there's some videos that are going to perform really well, and then other topics that are not going to perform well. And it costs us money now that we're doing production at the level we are and editing and stuff, that there's a certain amount of money it costs to produce any video. To put any video on YouTube, there's a time cost and an actual monetary cost. And what we realized is some of these topics that we'd love to cover, they don't really fit the format of YouTube, where they could find an audience and they could really have a good value to people in a podcast. And since we don't have to produce it, we have to put the time in to find guests to interview, and then actually sit down and interview them. But we love that part of it anyways.
That's the best part.
That's fun. So there was a lot of upside and not much downside.
Now you do podcasts when you're doing the dishes.
Now I do podcasts when I'm doing the dishes. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
You don't have an hour commute. You have
see
lots of dishes.
See how dry my hands are from the dishwater.
You've recently been sharing an interesting project of yours with real estate, and can you tell us how that's going? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the vertical community venture that we stared about a year ago.
Probably over a year.
Yeah, the concept probably came out February of last year, where we have this goal of revitalizing an old home here in Porto, because the architecture here is awesome. To see something that's been abandoned be brought back to life.
Because there's a lot of that.
And put another jewel in the crown of the city would be incredible. It'd be incredible to kind of, I guess, in a way, have that legacy. And not for like our legacy per se, but for the city's legacy, to have something restored of historical value. That would be really neat. What we realized is that it would cost a lot of money, and therefore by pooling resources and having apartments and like a garden space similar to this or bigger, it could be of kind of communal value, right? And allow us to accomplish the goal. So we're working with a company trying to identify the right property. There's not a whole lot on offer that fits in the part of the city that we want to live in. Mm-hmm. We've kind of narrowed it down to two different places.
Getting close.
Yeah, getting close. One really fits the bill in terms of the living space, but the problem is it's only 2 units. So it would be us and someone else, so not really a vertical community, but it would be restoring an older property in the city. The other one is definitely an older property that would have 5 to 6 units, so more of the concept that we initially went for. Mm-hmm. Maybe just, actually the part of the city is really nice, but maybe the price is the issue with that one. Yeah, so we've got to figure that out, getting close.
There's a fine line too, just because prices are rising, so you don't want to overpay for something, because we're also looking to buy a place.
You don't want to be a part of
that
people overpaying for
because
things.
we're looking to buy a place and renovate it, so you have to just consider all those costs to make sure that you're not overpaying.
Yeah.
Well, I think
It's starting to rain.
Yeah, I think it's going to rain. I think
What?
we need to wrap it up. I really want to thank you for your time today, out of your busy schedule, to
absolutely.
spend with us and
really enjoyed it.
Share your story, and thank you very much, Kalie and Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please give us your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what we can help you with. For example, planning your journey from the scouting trip through to getting settled in Madeira. Join us on Patreon, where we'll connect you with our trusted real estate agent, immigration team, tax attorney, etc. The description of our videos holds links to our Patreon, planning a one-to-one call, and affiliates. We hope you will continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey. Enjoy it.